Welcome back to the Jupiter podcast. I'm your host, Tom Franklin, and today we have on Joseph from the Ancient Enigma Files, a fantastic podcaster who's had me on his show. I've been trying to get someone on to talk conspiracies with me because I'm a big fan of it, but YouTube, we got to watch out for those minefields, and this guy is the best at it. He just told me backstage that he just reached 50,000 views on his channel, so big up to him, big shout out to him. We're going to promote his show, and we're going to get into some interesting stuff today. If you guys want to reach out to me and leave me an email, please do me a favor and leave me that email at the Jupiter podcast at gmail.com. You got interesting accounts, stories, anything out of the usual, or out of the usual. I think I said that right. Yeah, go ahead and send me an email there. I'll get back to you and I'll have you on the show, of course. And you can go down into the links below. You can find Joseph's stuff. You can also find any of my stuff. You can also contact me there. Either way, just get a hold of me and I'll have you on the show. Like and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and get yourself some t-shirts. Go ahead and become a member on YouTube and you get some stuff early. I just released an episode over there on vampires, that vampires are actually real, like some real vampires. And they actually talked about werewolves too. So you can go over and check that out. That one just released today. And that's all the homework or all the backstage work that I have to do for now. So let's welcome a big round of applause to the show, Joseph from the Ancient Enigma Files. How's it going, buddy?
What's going on, Tommy? That's what I call you affectionately behind the scenes, man. Tommy or Mr. Franklin. How you doing, buddy? What's good, man?
Just call me Tom, dude. Makes me uncomfortable, bro. Yeah, man. So you just reached 50,000 views over on YouTube, man. Congratulations, man.
Actually, it was 500,000, but
500. Oh man, that's even. Oh right, okay. Well, it's good that I underplayed it a little bit. That way you can make it a better announcement.
Right? We lowered the expectations down for everybody, man. It's a good day, but I'm saying it's all good, bro. Hey, thanks for having me on, buddy. Yeah. For real, I know we've been going back and forth for a while, man. So yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I was just trying to return the favor. I was on your show. We talked about some things, and yeah, you're different the way I do it. It's more structured. I'm a little more open content, a little more flowing, but it was still fun nonetheless.
Yeah,
do me a favor. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and tell people where they can find you, man.
My name's Joseph. How you doing? I'm the host of a YouTube show called Enigma Cast on a channel called the Ancient Enigma Files on YouTube. I dig into everything from, you can look over my shoulder here, is from UFOs to cryptids to conspiracies to biblical references, the Book of Enoch, prophecies, you name it, man. I dig into it to go through it as well. And you can find me. All of my handles are pretty much at the Ancient Enigma Files on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I think on X and maybe TikTok, I'm at Professor Augustus. That's my troll name. I go by on there. My hidden name, Professor Augustus. But yeah, you can find me on those places, man. I get into a little bit of everything.
That's what I kept thinking. I was like, I know his name can't be Alexander Augustus, and if it is, it is, that is a cool freaking name. Hey, how's it going, Tim? Tim from the Ohio Bigfoot Researchers is over here.
Hey, Tim, what's up, Tim? He's been on my show. How you doing, Tim?
Oh, you know Timmy. Timmy's awesome. Yeah. Get better soon, my friend. Yeah, so let's get into some things, man, because I've been waiting for a long time, like I was saying in the intro, to get a hold of somebody to talk about some conspiracies. Let's talk about that large object that is going to be buzzing by here. I think in like September or in October. What do you know about it? What are your thoughts about it, man?
So I know a lot about it, actually. So do you want to come at it from the flat earther?
What's that word? We can't say that.
You want to come at? You want to come at the?
I don't know what that is.
Or the firmament spectrum on it. Let's
go from your perspective. However you like, man. However you feel comfortable, and you go ahead and run it, man. You know what you're doing.
So I actually know. So look. So the reason why I know some legitimate flat Earth guys, but I've actually flown around the globe. I've flown around the globe in like 56 hours when I was stationed on Diego Garcia. Right, literally.
That's right.
Former military. So I know for a fact that the Earth is round. Right. So. That's no offense to anybody out there. That's just common. That's just life experience, right? So I do know that, but I will say that what you've been told about space is a lie. Space is not a vacuum, and they know it. Nikola Tesla referred to the space as being the ether, and the ether used to be on the periodic table. The ether is not water, even though the Bible says that there's waters above, but it is a fluid type situation. There's a fluid up there, right? And so. Whatever is hurtling towards our Earth, I got to be careful when I preface this because we are on YouTube. So let me do some clever mind dancing. All right, here's when I go to it.
All right, guys, just go ahead and dance along with them. Let's go.
So whatever is hurtling towards our Earth is going to be used. Is going to be used for some purposes down here. But what they're not telling you is that type of stuff has happened for a long time. You just never been told about it, right? Because they never really tell you exactly what's going on in outer space, but they know the truth. They absolutely know the exact truth or whatever. I do believe the firmament is real. I do believe that we're trapped here, but I know the earth is not round. So whatever that thing is coming to you from, I've had people reach out to me from the biblical standpoint over there on the outside, right? That it's supposed to be some type of harbinger, or maybe in the book of Revelations, they refer to this thing that hits the earth called wormwood. I don't know if that ever hits you in your thing, whatever.
I've heard of Wormwood. I know a band who had an album called Wormwood. Right. Or it's something hurtling towards this earth, and they're going to use it to push an agenda. And I'll tell you that pattern recognition has always been something a lot of people are actually good at it, right? But like very recently, you've seen top figures go out of their way to push in UFOs again. I was actually let me go back a little bit. I was in the building in Congress during the UAP congressional hearings, right? Wow.
I was in there. I was right outside the room. I was with one of my buddies, this guy named Mysterious Planet. He actually got into the room. I couldn't get into the room. I was like number 4 and I was outside. I was in the room when they were doing the questions. I'll go to my TikTok, go to my Instagram. I met Jeremy Corbell. I met another guy. I met another guy on there as well, man. He's escaping my name right now. It'll come to me in a second. They went out of their way to say the following, that these creatures live in the ocean, straight out of the book of Revelations. All the beasts in the book of Revelations come out of the ocean, period. But then they went quiet about it for a long time, man. They didn't say anything until literally last week. And you have a congressman going on there talking on Joe Rogan. Then you got JD Vance going out of his way, totally organically talking about all we do is talk about these UFOs. No. So whatever it is that's coming down the pipe, right? Whatever it is that's coming down the pipe, they possibly could use this thing coming their way as like this catalyst to bring things towards the forefront. I have several different theories on what it is, but all the theories lead to the same endpoint in the end of the day, right? So,
right. So you're saying so not really blue beam, but like blue beam of sorts, kind of like where they say there's this thing there, and we need to combine together, connect together, and then to do it so they create that actual one world government that they've been planning for forever.
Yeah, so check this out like this, right? I was 9 years. I was a cryptologist in the Navy, man. I was 9.5 years naval intelligence. Every lie has to have a sprinkle of truth. Every lie has to have a sprinkle of truth in there, right?
Right.
They want to call it the seed of doubt. So nothing would be better than taking advantage of a large object zooming past the Earth to say, oh, at the exact same time, Project Bluebeam comes up and all these things jump off of it to come down around it as well. But also too, I've had this theory for a long time and I keep pushing it. If you believe whatever you think that you believe or whatever you beliefs are, they know the truth. They know that that we're in, I would say, a spiritual battle as well as a physical battle. They know.
Absolutely.
They love atheists. I used to be a Freemason. I got out. You can't be a Freemason. Yeah, you can't be a Freemason. That's a whole other story. But yeah, you can't be a Freemason as an atheist because they think atheists are the dumbest people on the planet. Their God is Satan. That is real. They know, they believe he's real, right? It doesn't matter what you believe. You're not important. You're a cow. You're a sheep. You're a dog. You're an animal. It's what they believe, right? So they believe that the rapture is real. So they have Christians arguing right now about this Galveston Bible. Is it real? Is it not real? The pre-rapture, right? It doesn't matter. If they think it's real, they'll use the alien invasion as a premises to say if half the population of the planet was gone tomorrow, they would say the aliens took them. So we all got to come together when they come back for the rest of us. And here we go. Let's take AI, and AI will guide us along the way. And then that's how it'll spin. That's just me just loosely tying that together. But Project Bluebeam has 100% been developed since the 80s or late 70s or 80s to prepare for the rapture. And they've also proven that they can put pictures of Jesus in the sky. They've proven it, that they can do it, right? They've shown that they can do it with these laser shows, right? So this whole thing that's going on back and forth, man, with this, I call it fiduciary. I made that word up because I can't say the F-bomb on freaking YouTube, so I made up the word fiduciary. All this fiduciary, man. So yes, so you can figure out what fiduciary means, man. But I even got a T-shirt that says fiduciary, right? So all this fiduciary, right, that they come at you with, man, is planned. It's 100% planned, right? And again, that's the whole 2030 project, right? That's the whole 2030 project. They actually think they're preparing for a war that they think they're going to win, right? And again, not to hijack the conversation, Tom, but
no, go for it, man. Go for it.
But they have to reintroduce the Nephilim into our society. They have to, right? Because even in the book of Revelations talk about the last battle of Armageddon, where the crows feast on men and mighty men. When you read the Bible, it's mighty men are mentioned in Genesis and in Revelations. Mighty men were the 10-foot, 15, 20-foot tall Nephilim, the giants, right? They didn't all die during the flood, right? Or they did die, and we were successful when we retrieved Gilgamesh from Iraq, and we've cloned them, and we brought them back, right? So, but they have to reintroduce these beings into our society, right? And they'll do it by saying that they're aliens. They're here to help us. Nothing is getting into this planet, and nothing's leaving. The UFOs that you see, I've even did several topics when I talk to on my channel. They have a word for the grays in the jungles of Brazil. They've always been here. The Bible also references those who live on the earth and in it. Whoa. Inside the earth, period, right? You can go look it up, man. Even in Revelations, it talks about the mountains being ripped open and the people that live in the earth being pulled out, right? Those are whatever's going. That's what is. So when you see this like thing shoot past, they've been here way before us, a long time for us, right? And because of God's grace in Jesus, the earth was given to Adam, and we're a direct descendant from Adam. And they're not allowed to mess with us. That's why they have to live inside the earth. Or we can get into the whole shape shifting. I'm writing shadow bands right now on 2 platforms, so I got to call them the lizards. We can get into those if you want to. So yeah, bro.
There's a lot out there, but so with all this knowledge that you have, and this you're being bombarded by, what keeps you going? What can we do if this is coming to pass and you feel that this is going to happen? What can we do as a species to thwart this off, or to like protect ourselves? And sure. I mean, I have an idea what it would be. I just want to know what you think it would be.
So I can tell you right now. So I had a Doc Leday on my show. He is at Deadhead on TikTok. He is a very, very knowledgeable biblical. I would say a biblical scholar, right? He comes at it. He's very good at combining theology with physics, right? So when you read the book of Enoch and you read when you read the Sumerian tablets, it's the same story. One is from a spiritual aspect. The other one is from an alien race coming to the earth, right? But this is what I tell people, that when you read the scriptures, the only thing that Jesus ever says he doesn't know is the date and the time. He knows everything, and he tells you everything else. And he tells you no one knows the day or the time except my Father, right? And the reason why no one knows the day or the time is because it torments Satan. Satan doesn't know. He doesn't know when it's going to happen. Nobody does, right? So it torments him. He's always paranoid that any second now it's over for him. He's going to get cast out. But it's also in God's grace to provide us with the opportunity for redemption and salvation. We are not like this. We are 1,000 years away from this happening, and I'll tell you why. The book says, and when you read the book, it says that it'll be as the days of Noah. That reference is So that reference has multi-factual, multi-facets to it. I'll explain it to you if you'd like me to explain it to you.
Sure, please.
It took Noah 120 years to build the ark. They laughed at him until it started raining, right? So they totally dismissed it, right? Noah was on the earth the same time Enoch was on the earth, and Methuselah. So Methuselah was the great grandfather of Noah. Methuselah's father was Enoch. So God only took two people off the earth, Enoch and Elijah. I think his name Elijah, right? But they took the book of Enoch out of the Bible, saying it's not important. Enoch was like a seventh generation descendant from Adam, right? It's extremely important to what he says, right? And so the reason why no one knows the date and time is because God wants to give everybody the most opportunity you can to come to him, right? So people want to say recently as like, last year, this time, everything was terrible. We had all this stuff going on. Thank you, Elijah. Thank you, Elijah. So all this stuff was going on and everything like that. That's not even close to how bad it's going to be, right? In the days of Enoch, you had Nephilim on the earth. You had the Fae. If you look over my shoulder over here, it's the 54 Apocryphae. It was the books that were taken out of the Bible by the Catholic Church in order to deceive you, just like scriptures tell you they were going to do. But at the end, all this information comes forward. So in the book of Enoch, the sons of the fallen, which was the Nephilim and the giants and the fallen angels, they spliced everything. Animal-human hybrids, made fairies, centaurs, all that stuff was real. All of it was real. The reason why you see all these statues in Rome missing hands and feet is because they all had 6 fingers and 6 toes. Those were Nephilim. That's why these priceless statues that you see in like Rome, somehow they fall over and their hands all break off, or they're missing feet. No, those are works of art. Those were depictions of Nephilim. Those were destroyed on purpose. And so when it says in the book, when it says that God will return as in the days of Noah, it's got to get a lot more worse. And I'm going to tell you why it's about to get a lot more worse, but I'm also going to tell you not to be scared.
Right.
So number one, Japan literally yesterday came out and said, or 2 days ago, that they're creating animal-human hybrids with cat DNA. They're making cat girls, right? You can go look this up. It's on my Instagram. Elon Musk gave them a lot of money. Elon Musk gave them a lot of money to do it. The Japanese right now are making cat girls. They're making anime cat girls, right? I don't know why, but they are. But here's the thing. They already know how to do it. We've already done it. We've already done it. All these tunnels you hear about underneath America, they go as far to New Zealand. They go to, they go they're all the way down. This girl was on. That's why America's, $37 trillion in debt is because of that. It's all free energy. And you go, all in the Denver airport. We can already do it. They already know how to do this stuff, right? And when those things start walking amongst us, when those things start, and again, they do this thing I call slow disclosure. They already proven that you have NPCs walking amongst us. They have already proven it. They released a Harvard study saying 50% of the people don't have an inner monologue. And so
that's great. It's true. That's true. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. But do you know who you're talking to in your head? Do you know when you're having a conversation? That's your soul.
The true self, the I call it the true I.
Yeah, exactly. That's you. This right here is not you, right? This me verbalizing myself and having a conversation with myself, that's the me. So the people who can't have a conversation with themselves, they are the NPCs, right? They are, I don't want to say clones. I don't know how they do it, but that is what that is, right? So they're slowly rolling this out, right? And what they need to do is, again, in the book of Revelation, before we skip to the Antichrist, a lot of people get two things mixed up in the book of Antichrist. You have the false prophet and the Antichrist. There's two separate people. It's not the same guy.
Okay.
Right? Same way John was sent before Jesus to prophesy in the forest. Satan gets one too. He gets a guy that'll come down here to be the false prophet, right? And that's where I think people, make that mistake when they try to combine them. It's that hasn't happened yet. It's not Elon Musk, even though May Musk is extremely satanic. You can go on X and look at her stuff. She's not even trying to hide it. They're from South Africa. She is very weird, very, very weird. Elon is a little off. His brother is even worse than him. I don't know if you've ever studied his brother or not. Elon has a brother. They both look like they've got about 4 hours of sunlight in their lives, period, right? But yeah, so we're not headed there yet. The reason why I tell you to do not be afraid, right, or do not worry about it is the following things. I personally, based on my own readings of several different versions of Revelations, I actually do believe in the rapture. I do believe that when it says, and the reason why is this, right? I'm going to give you biblical reasons behind it as well. There's references there saying, you'll meet the angels up in the sky. God will send you down here to get them. There's also talking about some people will not sleep and will go to heaven. That's because you're just getting taken up. But also, the Holy Spirit has to be removed from the earth for Satan's spirit to be brought into the earth. So when it talks about
to replace the part of the tri, whatever that word is. I want to say trilogy, but I always get that wrong.
So the church has to be removed from the earth. The church has to go, right? For example, I just recently relocated down to Florida like 3 weeks ago.
No kidding.
From Northern Virginia. Right?
Well, you're close to me then, dude. All right. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. So I recently did that, man. You're not cutting my head off. You're not going to come down here, and you're not going to come down here, and you're not going to say, put this microchip in here. There's way too, there's way too, listen, and I try to tell this to other people as well. And I'm going to give you some more, Tom, you'll agree with this. God takes everything that the enemy means for evil and turns it for its good. Since 1990, the United States of America has been fighting in a war one way or the other. We've lost a lot of good guys along the way. But what they did not understand they were doing is over the last 25 years, you have more combat experienced veterans alive, living in the United States today than is active duty. You're not taking our heads off. You're not coming out. It will not happen.
It will not happen.
And the only way for that to happen is we all have to be gone, right? And so that's the thing that we'd have to get into as well, is that we would have to be gone and taken off the earth. Now, I got to say something. If you wake up one day and half the people are gone, knuckle up, son. You're in for it. You know what I'm saying? It's about to get rough down. It's about to get rough down here, right?
It's a strong Christian belief. I'm a little different. I believe if you believe in God and you're doing the right things, there's a lot of things in the Bible that I completely agree with. There's just certain parts that I can't. It's just my personal beliefs. And I've looked into it, and I really thought for years. I used to be an atheist too for many years. I really was. And then I had my daughter, and then you start looking into the rabbit holes that you and I like to jump down, and you think, well, this can't just be about money and power here on this plane, this 3D or 4D existence that we're in. That makes no sense. At the end of the day, there's something evil that's wanting something more. Then you start going, well, then there must be a soul. Then there must be this. And a lot of things kind of like clicked for me. And I think one of the major tests was the whole COVID debacle, dude. The whole thing. I heard something really interesting the other day, what it actually stands for. So COVID is a certification of vaccination identification, and 19 is AI, A being the first letter and I being the ninth letter. Now that's whatever. You guys can make with that as you will, have fun with it as you will. But just recently, John, not John, but Robert F. Kennedy Jr. just went onto the vaccine list and said, this is no longer going to, you can look this up, YouTube. He actually came out and said this, and he said it will no longer be a required vaccination. And actually not just that one, but actually all under the umbrella of these, mRNA shots. And I just wondered what that really was. What do you think that really was, that whole thing?
Oh, so we can talk freely about that now. I can tell you exactly what that was. That was actually a multifaceted operation. One, I'll start with the high-hanging fruit. It was 100% a dry run for the mark of the beast. 100%. 100%. It was 100% loaded. Who would comply? Who would not comply? Right. And that was what it was, right? And number two, it was part of the dry run is how long can we push this lockdown without repercussions coming into play, right?
It's a test. Yes.
It was a test, right? The third thing is they wanted to also see inside the military what type of people would comply within the military and what type of people would not comply in the military as well, right? That's another thing right there, right? Had to go into it. Number four, the fourth thing that they tried to do in there, right, is they wanted to see if at any point there would be like open, basically revolts, like who would open revolt. And when I say open revolt, that doesn't necessarily mean like storming a bridge or anything like that.
Right.
You saw Florida did it. You saw other states that like, we're not locking down. We're not closing. We're not doing this. We're not manning it. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Right. And again, it was also, they took the opportunity as well. And this is where I bridge out from another standpoint.
Oh, poor baby. Denise said that. Yeah, that's what they did. They forced you to comply. And I want to go ahead and say this real quick before he continues, man. There's a lot of people out there who are still denying it, and you know who you are. I battle with you guys all the time, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You got duped. I've been duped on many, many, many things. I believe 9/11. The Vegas one. I was like, no, I was already too far by then. But 9/11 is what started me. You got duped. It's okay, but we still love you. And there's a way out of it, dude. Just go ahead. And the ones who shunned their families, the ones who pushed them aside, who would call and rat on other people like some Nazi SS stuff, and call and say, hey, there's kids playing in the neighborhood. You got duped and you got used. But now you need to own up to it. And we have open arms ready for you guys. We're here to love you and hug you and try to help you. But you need to, I'm telling you, there's people on Facebook, man, that I run into, and it's unbelievable to me how they just spit. They're just reflections of what that tunnel of concept and ideas is shot at them, and they just reflect that out. Now they hate John F. Kennedy or Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and they're just like, oh, he was a Democrat for years. Weren't you guys anti-war? Weren't you guys all these things? And now you're not. And it's just, it's okay. Look there. Yes. Denise, there's Denise. Here you go, guys. Here you go, man. This is one of my moderators. She is a 9/11 survivor, dude.
Nice.
She's a 9/11. Yeah, baby. And she's here with us, man. So yeah, please continue on. I just had to get that out there. It was something I've been wanting to say since I started the channel, and I wasn't allowed to say this stuff.
No, so it's perfectly what you said, man. A lot of people like, I like history a lot. I'm kind of a nerd, man. I study a lot of history. And when East Berlin and West Berlin, when the wall finally fell and East Germany started talking to West Germany, they went over to the Soviet side and they asked them like, hey man, how did you maintain control? And they're like, we didn't force anything. People, when you hold them down long enough, they'll tell on their neighbors, right?
They'll do it to themselves. Yes.
Yeah. So that's exactly what that was another dry run down there as well. But they also use it as part of when you take a step back, man, and you look at things through a different lens. When you realize that everybody that is in power is a Freemason, and everybody who they believe at the end of Freemasonry, they'll tell you that the light bringer is Satan. They use everything Lucifer. They can. They'll use everything they can for ceremonies, right? So they use COVID as a ritual sacrifice. They use the death of the people that were dying during COVID or whatever, especially the elderly, right? And they used it as part of some type of their ritual ceremonies and things of that nature to go into. And what I tell you is that the people that got duped by taking the COVID vaccine, I can actually tell you a story here to make you feel better, right?
Yes, sir.
I actually we were all locked in. About 6 months into it, I was like, man, I can't do this anymore, man. When are they going to come up with a vaccine? Literally, right?
Right.
So the vaccine was starting to roll out, But it was this is how God works in my life, man.
All right, buddy.
2 weeks before I was supposed to go get it, I actually got the flu, right? I got the flu. So my son was living in Tennessee. He came to visit me and he brought me the flu, right? And so for 1 week, for I was down for like 5 days. This flu was so bad, bro, that I could feel electric pulses running up my spine into my brain. I could visualize it like this pulsating blue light.
Oh yeah.
And the day I got over the flu, my son went to the grocery store and brought me COVID home. I got COVID 2 days later, right?
Oh, great.
And COVID was nothing compared to the flu. It was nothing. I said, man, that's it. And I was like, yo. And so I was like, okay. And so I was like, well, I'm not getting this vaccine then because, you know, it's like chicken pox. I already got it. Right. So
you
I don't
couldn't
need
say that either back then. You couldn't say that word natural immunity. You couldn't say it. And it's scientific. You can't say that.
Yeah. But until that point, man, I would have elbowed you out of line to get jabbed, man. But I was like, man, I'm glad I didn't. Now
I didn't. Nope.
So yeah, man. So that's how they duped us, right? But again, God takes everything the enemy meant for their evil and turns it for their good. And even it says that in the Bible, I can't remember the verse, but the enemy can't use the same thing against you twice. That'll never work again. That's why it has to be the alien thing. It'll never be a flu. They tried it. They've tried it last year. Bird flu. F yourself. I'm not doing it. We got chicken flu, cow flu. Not doing it. So yeah, I don't care. I don't care, right?
Yeah.
So that will never work on Americans again, man. It won't. Some Americans it will, but not.
Yeah. What got me was the whole RNA, and I don't have any. Yeah. You know, I have no degree in any type of biology or anything like that, but I know that RNA is the building blocks of, you know, like the molecular structure of what we are. You know, what we can see through science. And I was like, and you're going to use that? How can you not know that? And how can they make it so fast? I mean, you know, I'm not completely against any and all vaccines. Maybe one day, maybe not one day. There's certain things that might have helped. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I was like, mRNA, that can't be good, man. That can't be good. It freaked me out. So I wasn't getting it from the get-go. I already knew, and you see people that are walking around. They got the little Band-Aid on their arm, and then people are getting sick now. They're like, what happened? And it was, and I had it bad, dude. I got it back in March, so it came through Italy, and I was on the border of southern Germany, which is not that far away. You just go through a little part of Austria, and you're right there. And I got it like in March, and it knocked me down for 4 weeks. It tore me up. Something horrible, and it was bad, man. It was a weird time, man.
It's crazy too, because I'll tell you a story, man, to dig into it. Two things. Well, I'm not going to say this one story on air because this will get us knocked off. I'm sorry, guys. This is too much.
Don't worry about it, buddy. Go over to his channel. Check him out. Go to his channel.
If it was on Rumble, I'll tell you. But the second thing I'll tell you is that because I study history, right, a lot of history, right, because I'm kind of a nerd like that. Do you know the details of the Spanish influenza that ripped through America? Do you know how?
I know. Yeah. I remember it. It was. It started out in Fort Riley. I was actually stationed in Fort Riley. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, Darren, that's exactly what we're looking for, buddy. It's an honest mistake, and you know, you didn't believe him. That's okay, dude. But you're here now, and we're here with you, man. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah, bro. The thing about it is that when the Spanish influenza ended, it just went away. So I said to myself, like, okay, man, this eventually is just going to stop, right? Like, and it did. But that's how I know that it was, I would say, tinkered with, for lack of a safety word here on YouTube, is because it kept evolving weaker. Like people, like I've had it 3 times, and by the third time I had it, I was like, all right, whatever, man.
Yeah, I've had it quite a few times, and first time really messed me up, but it got weaker and weaker. But then it came back like 2 years later, and it messed me up for about a day and a half. But it was better, yeah. But that's like immune escape. I mean, if you go around and you shoot, it's just immune escape. It just mutates. It's kind of a natural. But here's an interesting concept that I looked up. I don't know if this is true or not, guys. But if you actually look at the Latin word, because virus is a Latin word. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the Latin English dictionary from the 1700s, and every version of it up until today, the word virus actually means venom, especially from a snake. especially from a snake. Now that's in a dictionary. I mean, you go and fact check that if you like that YouTube, but that's what it says, and it's just interesting. It's just yeah. Please, I'm sorry.
I mean,
interrupting.
Yeah. No. You're told no for sure, man. No, that's a great fact. On that'll take you right down to there in the Zulus in Africa. They believe that all drugs are made from the DNA of a species they call down there we would refer to them as lizards. And so
we would. Yes.
If we're going to talk about that. And they believe it. They believe these all drugs are aspired from their DNA to create suffering. So yeah, man, it's 100% is what it won't ever work again. And the rapture is not around the corner. We are not anywhere close to the end of days. We are not even close to the tribulations. Or what I know they came out yesterday saying that we're just going to talk about all kinds of stuff here. They could probably
dude. I love it. I love it, man. You know how it is.
So they just came out yesterday saying that they actually supposedly sacrificed that red heifer in Israel, right? And
I don't know who that is. That's fine. I'm glad I don't know who that is.
So according to their religious beliefs, that they have to resurrect or reconstruct the third temple in order for their Messiah to come. But every Christian who supports every Christian who supports them is nuts. And if you're a Christian on here, I'm a Christian, I'm telling you, you're nuts, because their Messiah is the Antichrist. So any Christian in America supporting the rebuilding of the third temple only because you want to get to Jesus quicker, you're a nut. You're a nutter. So, and like I said, we can go back and forth on that. They may have done it or they may not have done it, but it doesn't matter, because it will not get built. It will not get built in your lifetime, my lifetime, several times down. That temple is not going to get built until the surrounding areas in there. So when you take Islam, they don't think so. In the Quran, they think Jesus is their Messiah as well. They think he didn't die on the cross. They think he came off the cross, killed, and he's going to come back as their Mahdi. And when he comes back as the Mahdi, he's going to be the Messiah for the Muslims and for the Israelis. And they're going to have, 3.5 years of peace, and then he's going to break off and all heck's going to break loose, right? That's how that story plays out in the end, right? But it doesn't. So that's when people are worried about how things are going on. If we're in the end of days, if we're doing this, we're doing that. We're not. All that is I call it fear porn. They love to keep you scared. They love to keep you guessing.
That's what they love.
Yeah,
the treadmill.
Yeah, that's it. And so, and don't be afraid, and really don't be afraid. Psalm 91 talks about 1,000 falling out your left hand, 10,000 out your right, but you'll only see with your eyes the destruction of the enemy. Christians we're not going to get touched, man. I know people disagree with you on that, saying, "Oh, we're going to lose our heads. We're going to lose our heads." You're not taking mine. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm on the ground dead already, you're not taking my head, right? And I know a lot of guys. I
go through more of a. I guess I'm a little bit more of an Eastern mysticist type of guy. You know what I mean? It's for me, it's a very simple concept. It's like you just love everybody, dude. Now, Messiah is this, and a prophet's that. I know a little bit about Islam, and I know a little bit about Christianity, and a little bit about all that. But in the end, dude, we're all people, man. You put your shoes on in the morning, you get up, you go to job, you want a little bit of coin in your pocket, you want a little bit of love in your life, and you want to prosper on the planet. So I think we are now in the midst of the grand awakening, and that's why they do things like we always talk crap about China, for example, right? Oh, how they have no freedoms. But we're here on YouTube because there's some things that need to be off there. There's certain things with, the younger generation that we can't do, of course. And there's certain, you can't, do calls to action that are negative if you hurt somebody. I agree with those things, but that's about it. That's about it. And we can't talk about these kind of things. You know what I mean? But what we can talk about is that we need to learn how to love each other again. They want us to keep us separated. They want us to keep us in our houses. Not for this show. You guys come into the house and watch this show, and Joseph as well. Come on in, and then go back outside and eat your barbecue and join your family, and help your neighbors dig a hole, build that porch, whatever it is you got to do, that's what we need to get back to. And just realize, when you go to different parts of the planet, a lot of people here are American, you know what I mean? So we only know one way of doing things. There's many ways of doing things, but I just think that when it comes to freedom of speech, liberty, I think that is utmost paramount. But at the same time, we need to do that with love, and everything is to separate us. And remember that if you know that in your head beforehand, that everything they put in front of you, even the pundits that you agree with, just remember they're playing you against both sides, man, woman, black, white, Christian, Muslim, whatever it is. All those kind of things are meant to divide you and make you feel fear, to put you in the lower brain instead of putting you in the mammalian brain or in the cerebral cortex, the human brain. They want that. They want you to be on a lower vibration to keep you separated from God. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's where we connect, buddy. I do. I am a God person for sure. I have my own thing.
Yes. I tell people too, man, remember Jesus died for the people you hate as well. Right. And so
said, buddy.
So sometimes, man, like I get into a point where I'm like, man, I revert back to my base instincts. Right. But I'm like, you know what, man, stop, don't do it. But it's funny too, because like I was approached by some Muslims fairly recently. They tried to convert me, and they told me, yes, they offered me two. So their selling point was they offered me 2 wives, and I was like, 2? I said, no, man, 2 wives.
I have trouble enough with one of them.
I don't know. But like it was funny. It was funny, man, because I told him, I was like, actually, man, like there's no disrespect, man, but I'm not giving up bacon. That's true, and I don't care that offense, man. That's true. That's what I said, man.
Or beer. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you. we had a laugh though, man. We had a laugh, right? It's like they were like, "Come on, Joe." And I was like, "Nah, man." He's like, "No, we want you on our team." I'm like, "Nah, bro. Look, man." I said, "Look, first of all, 2 wives ain't that's not the selling point for me. Number 3, I'm down hard with Jesus, and number 1, man, I'm not giving up bacon." So that was it, bro. So we just had a laugh. Right?
No, bacon or beer, dude. I mean, I understand, but at the same time, no, man. It's like to each their own. I think that, this is my opinion. I don't think they know what it is exactly I don't think so, that they know exactly what they're looking at when they look at that book. So that's the best I can say it. That's the best I can say without being shot down by YouTube. Now, there's also things in the Bible that I don't know if you guys know, but I don't know. So I'm okay. And, and I always think like, okay, say if it is to be true. My name is Thomas. I am the one who said, show me. Right.
I didn't want to go there, bro. But like I said, man, like,
and that's okay with me. I love everybody. Hey, man, okay. It's okay, buddy. Everyone can have their own opinion. Everyone should. The thing is, dude, you have to get in good with yourself. You have to connect with this self. And when you connect with this, you'll realize that you're much more powerful than you realize, dude. And they just want to take that from you. They want to take your light. They want to take your loosh, is the word that we use over here in this conspiracy area. And they want to, like I was saying, they want to put you in that lower brain instead of thinking with your heart and your mind and seeing that person in front of you is just you in another avatar and another body and another, how would you say, and another version of God itself. You know what I mean? That's basically what it is. And don't feel that way, man. We love everybody.
I tell people this all the time, man, because people come up to me and they ask me, to your audience, don't listen to how I talk or how I say it. Try to listen to what I'm saying, because I know I'm brash. I know that I could be sandpaper when it comes out. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is iron sharpens iron. We're supposed to disagree.
Ooh.
We're supposed to talk. We're supposed to talk to each other, right? We're supposed to go back. If I can't defend intelligently my beliefs, then I have no business speaking about them, right? And it goes back to the other way. When I talk to atheists in particular, right? They seem to be the most stubborn, but they also, if I can't tell them the reasons why that I think they should do X, Y, and Z, then I shouldn't be talking about it. But here's a simple thing. And the same thing I have Muslim friends, man. We laugh. I make fun of them. I openly make fun of them, right? I'll eat a ham sandwich right in front of them. Like, y'all sure I don't want any? They're like, get that cockroach out of my face. That's what they'll say, right? I'm like, all right, man. So I'll just eat. But the problem is we're funny and we laugh and we kick around. But at the end of the day, here's a test that I tell anybody that watches this show. I dare you. Like, I'll call you out, right? Anybody that watches this show, do the following, right? Do the following. Lock yourself into your room at night, right? And say this. Jesus Christ, if you're real, if you're really real and you're not some sky daddy, you're not somebody that's made up, come into my life and show me. Call him out. You won't do it because you won't do it. You will not do it. If you have the cojones to do that, watch him come into your life and then you better hold on because it's going to take off.
Well,
Then you'll believe what I'm saying, right?
I'll make this admission to you, man. I'll make this admission to you. So I am not Christian. I really ain't.
What?
I'm not.
It's okay.
But I'll make this admission to you for real. This happened to me. So I was on your show, dude, and I was talking to you about those voices I was hearing and the strange lights and the things that I was finding in my cabin out there in the middle of the rainforest out there. And it scared the bejesus out of me. There you go. That's a pun intended. And it was coming over my left shoulder. See, I talk to people, I have friends, and they tell you that it comes over your left shoulder, and that's what was happening to me. And I just, just said, in the name of Jesus, you're not here to harm my family or me. You can stay to protect land because this is what I think it is. I think it's some Mayan black magic kind of stuff. But you can stay. You're just not here to harm us. And dude, ever since then, I've had no problems, not one. So that's a bit of admission. But that's in
the Bible, right?
Yes, I do.
Because so his apostles go to him and say, people are out here casting demons out in your name, and they're not with us. He's like, leave them alone. If they're on our side, not against them, let it do the thing. You don't have to believe in Jesus to have power in his name. You don't. Because again, they believe in it. They know the demons on the other side. They know. That's why when I forget this guy's name, man, he came out. His name was, I think it's Bill Carl or whatever. He was going around saying that Jesus was actually Zeus or whatever. And I thought to myself, well, somebody forgot to tell the demons that because they don't run from Zeus, but they run from Jesus, right? That name in itself has power, right? So yeah. And again, I tell people all the other time, more people have came to Jesus with a pistol in their hand at 3 a.m. in a parking lot than they'll ever come to Jesus in church. It's just a fact. Because the people who go to church, they're firm. It's when you're at your rock bottom, bro. When you're at the bottom, at the very bottom, and you got nowhere else to go. You got nothing to lose, might as well try it, right? You got nothing to lose at that point.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You got nothing to lose, man.
So your thing is just like, you need to come to faith and be good with God. And I'm saying the same thing. I just think, I've had religious experiences, like, for me, for real, like, through meditation and certain things happening in my life. And I've really felt that power. It just didn't have a name for me. You know what I mean? And it kind of also depends on where you're born. You know what I mean? If you're born in this part or a certain time period in life or in history, or we can definitely talk about that on another time. We'll talk about ancient history and stuff that's weird with that. We can go into Tartaria and all that. I would love to have you
right on my alley, bro.
Just to do Tartaria and the world's fairs and all those kind of things. But in the end, it just all comes down to just being a good person. I mean, and that's in there. So that's in the Bible. That's a good thing. Be a good person. Hey, what's wrong with that? Yeah, buddy.
So here's what I tell people. Here's what I tell people, right? People come up to me and they ask me like, hey man, you were talking to so-and-so, you missed an opportunity to do this. You missed an opportunity to do that, right? I'll just use you for an example. Sure. They say, oh, you were talking to Tom, you can do this. And this is my response. And I'll tell this to all your audience members out there. Visualize this, just play along with me for a second. Tom, you and me are brothers, right?
Okay.
Jesus is daddy. You're my older brother. I'm your younger brother, right? When dad comes home and Tom's being bad, it's not my place to get in between Tom and dad. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so after it's over,
right.
That's it, man.
And it doesn't hurt my feelings.
It doesn't. So, yeah. So, no, and again, it's because, and the reason why is because I'll take it one step further, is because Tom's relationship with the father is different than my relationship with the father. It's different expectations. It's different missions. It's different, purposes on the life, right? And so, also in the Bible it says those who are first will be last, those who will be last will be first. Other people have came to God early, other people will come to God late, and those who come to God late still get to go. It's just how it is, man. So when people come in there and have these conversations with you know, like what you're talking about. We say that we're you know, you believe this, I believe this, but we're all we're still going in the same direction. In God's timing, everything will work out, right? It will. And so that's why I don't sweat it, man. I don't press. I don't do anything. I just don't do it, man.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't bother me whatsoever, man.
yeah,
I had the Trinity explained to me on the thing. It was really cool. Like, so you had the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Trinity. So the Father is the mind, where the thought comes from. The Son is the body, is you, and then the Holy Spirit is the breath that comes out. And you need all three to be able to formulate a sentence into this reality. So that was a really cool little piece that I like for myself. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. That's another one I really, really enjoy. And was another one that I really had to really, and we on this show, you know, or on other shows, especially mine, we like to talk about things like, you know, Dogman and Bigfoot, and the supernatural, we'll say. But what's more supernatural than God itself, dude? If you can believe in ghosts, what's more supernatural than God, dude? It is the thing. You know? It's very cool.
And so again, to loop this back to, you know, we live on a planet that is amazing. We live in a reality that is amazing, far beyond any type of imagination that you could follow, right? All that stuff is real. It's all real, bro. There's just too many. I've talked to too many people. I've seen too much strangeness myself. I've read too much history, right? To go in there to say that this earth might be a lot of things, but one thing it's not is boring, right? If you're bored in life, man, you're not doing it right. I'm telling you what, because man, there's mystery to be found everywhere, right? So yeah, it's the ultimate experience when you get into it, right? But yeah, bro. Yeah, it really is, bro. It's amazing, man.
Yeah, dude. And it's like we went from, you know, we went through this thing coming from outer space to you know, the COVID vaccine to spirituality. And I think that's the cool thing about your show, man, that you can kind of go wherever you want. Yeah, and that's what I do too. You know, you say it more like this is you're more a little bit more in line with the spirituality, like this not the spirituality, but the conspiratorial concepts, and you add your faith with it. And I kind of go from, look, be aware, watch what it is out there, think with your heart. And then the spirituality and everything else kind of goes and falls into that at the same time. So we're basically, you know, beating the same drum. We're just beating it differently, man. You know, you're doing your paradiddles and I'm over there doing triplets. But at the same time, we're making, dude, I'm good at making analogies.
Awesome. Yeah. No, but exactly right though, man. Yeah.
And there's certain people in here who's over there on the side, you know, talking crap, whatever. You know, that's okay, man. But that's your thing. If you ever want to go ahead and sit down with somebody and talk about it, that's fine. But it doesn't mean you need to be rude. Don't need to be rude. Mutual respect is a must. It's a must.
Yeah. So or you can do this too, right? Like I actually have a few superpowers, right? One is like I'm incredibly hard to offend.
Right? Yeah, you told me that the first time I met you, dude. Yeah, you can't offend me, Tom.
Yeah, I'm incredibly hard to offend, right? Like so like I don't know if it's something I've just developed, and I'm a bit of a smart ass, right? I can be very short.
No, come on, man.
Yeah. So, if you ever want to have a conversation, man, if you ever want to get into it, man, I can promise you will not hurt my feelings, and I bet you that you could walk away with like a different understanding. In my experience too, right? I've learned this, right? Not to completely go off into that direction. A lot of the times when people are angry at God in general, Muslim, whatever.
Yeah,
you name it.
Right.
Christians, whatever. A lot of the times when they're angry with God in religion is because something that a man did to them, not something that God did. It's 9 out of 10 times it was, my dad was a drunk and beat my whatever. God failed me. And I'm thinking to myself like, okay. But I don't push the conversation, but we can dig deeper into it. And I often say to them, man, like, well, what was your dad going through as a kid? What happened to him? Were you sit down here to break that generational curse? Did you choose to come down here? Did you choose to come down here to take those beatings for your dad to save your dad's life? There's a lot that goes into this. A lot that goes into this, right?
And a lot of time that man has done something to you is yourself.
Yes.
A lot of it is yourself. Okay, so we have my buddy Darren finally made it on the show. He's been he said, Tom, please ask Joseph about the archangels. What do you know about archangels? Because he had an experience where the archangel Michael came to him and said, "You have to take this person out so you can protect everyone else around it." And he's been struggling with that for a very long time. What can you say about archangels?
Well, they're 100% real. I'll tell you that right now, and I can give you several. I can give you several specific things about them, and we'll delve into the conversation to the thing on there. First of all, I'm going to give you the references in the book of Enoch. There's a chapter in the book of Enoch called the Book of Giants. Right in the Book of Giants, the Nephilim are having dreams about the flood. Right. And so they actually go to Enoch, and there's a chapter in the Book of Giants where they're saying, Enoch, who's referred to as the scribe, please go before God and, parlay for us, man, mediate for us to try to spare us from this. Right. Okay. And Enoch asked him a question like, what dreams are you having? And there's a reference in there saying that I'm having them, and so is my father. When they talk about their father, they're talking about their fallen angel. You only know out of the 200 fallen angels, you only know Samjaza and Ariel, maybe one more. There's like 197 other fallen angels you don't know anything about, right?
Okay.
So they call an enclave. Enoch comes back and he says, no, you're doomed. God says that if you repent, some of you might have a chance. And at that meeting was Gilgamesh. And Gilgamesh said that if the sons of heaven are against us, we don't stand a chance. The sons of heaven he's talking about, if you read the book of Enoch, God sends down 4, Ariel, Gabriel, Michael, and Raphael, to come down here to handle business, right? To come down here and do it, right? Archangel Michael is the principal. He's the principal archangel, right? He's the general it's more to it than that, right? He's a general as well amongst the things. But he's also the one who went one-on-one with Satan, cast him out. Satan was a higher ranking angel than him. He still cast him out, right? He's also the one that God sent back to hide Moses's body. I think it was Moses' body, right? To hide his body because Satan was trying to get a hold of him, right? To hide his body, right? So Archangel Michael and all the other, if you want to call them high-ranking Anunnaki, you want to call them whatever you want to call them, they're real, right? So number 2, let me back up just one more second here. Mm-hmm. There is biblical reference for archangels speaking with humans. Daniel in the Bible being the classic example. He had several conversations with Gabriel. Also, Gabriel was the one who delivered the message to Mary that she was going to have a son call him Jesus. Also to John's parents saying, hey, look, you're going to have a son, call him John. His dad didn't believe him. He says, so you know what? You're not going to speak until your kid's born. He couldn't speak his mouth. Wow. So So he basically said, because you doubted me, you can't speak until your kid's born. So John the Baptist, his father couldn't speak. I think his name was Zacharias, couldn't speak until his son was born, right? So there is biblical reference in there for archangels speaking to people. Now, there's also in there. Bear with me. Whoever this guy asked this question, don't run away from me when I'm about to tell you. All right.
He's here, man. Here he is. Darren's here, buddy.
So there's also biblical references of demons pretending to be an angel. For example, when I think it was Isaac. They told Isaac to kill his son.
Oh, yes.
And the angel stopped him saying no. And also
Abraham I think it was Abraham to kill Isaac. I think that's
Abraham to kill Isaac. Thank you. Look at you.
Wow, I can't believe I knew that. Yeah, come on, dude. Well, oh my God, I got my first reference of the Bible correct.
Boom, first Christian. Man. So there you go, wow.
Man, dude, I can't believe I got that.
You nailed it, man. Good job. Also, 2 people will tell you that it was Satan pretending to be Gabriel that was giving Muhammad the false teachings or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So you have them both, right? You have them both going on, right? So back and forth. So look. So the question the thing that I would tell the person who asked that question, that he was given some type of instruction by Archangel Michael. How many times did he tell you that? How many times did he tell you to go and do that, right? Uh-huh. And did you pray on it or not pray on it or whatever, right? To go back and forth. So then there you go, right? But the thing that I'm telling you, I'm going to take this into this follow with me on the speed bump, right? What was told to you? Did it produce a positive outcome?
I think it did. I mean, he's actually on a channel, Darren. He actually came on my podcast on a live actually, and he said, "Tom, I got to talk about this." And we kind of talked about it in the back. And he came on and he told the whole story. And he didn't like to do what he had to do, but he had to. And in the end, I think it was humbling to him to see it, because he said it was, I don't know, like 12 feet high, had the sword. It was huge. It was just incredible encounter that he had with Michael. And it was very difficult for him to do it. And but it was an incredible story that needed to be told. And I'm here for it, man. And I want you guys to know on this show too, guys, like being me not being a Christian, a self-professed non-Christian, that in my community, 90% of the people are. They are. And you guys are so welcoming and so nice and sweet to me. You know what I mean? And if you listen to the atheist, there are people out there who will hit you in the head with the Bible, and I don't like those people. The ones that get on their soapbox. You know what I mean? I don't like that. I've never have liked that. But there's people who, when they're kind and they actually do what is said within there, you see that and become the example of which you wish other people to be. And those are the ones I like to be around. And that's amazing. That's amazing, man.
That's good. So one more question for him.
Yes. Darren, this is for you, buddy.
So like,
he told him one time. He said he told him one time. There it is.
Okay, that's fine. But do you believe in Jesus?
Of course he does. Of course he does.
Then what's the problem? And I'll tell you, when I say that, here's me being brash, right? Jesus died for your sins and forgave you for your sins. If you felt like you committed a sin, lay it at the feet of Jesus, accept his grace, bro, and move on. And this is where I get in trouble with other Christians, man, and anybody that's watching this, right? Is give your balls a tug, bro. God put it on you because you can. I'm serious, right?
That was so military, dude.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. Give your balls a tug. God put it on you because you can handle it. Accept your grace and get out there and do some more good, man. That's what I tell you, man. If you struggle with it, you don't believe in Jesus. You don't believe his sacrifice for you. You don't believe. So listen, and here's a theological reference for you. In the Bible, it talks about the unforgivable sin is blasphemy against the Holy Ghost. That's in the Bible. People think that's if you say something bad about the Holy Ghost. That's not what that is. The unforgivable sin is you doubt the power of the Holy Ghost. It's called, you're supposed to be living in Jesus, which is in the faith. Before he died, you were under what they would call the Torah laws, the law of Moses. So when Jesus came back and said, I am the law of Moses, they freaked out, right? Because the Jews think that that the Messiah is going to come back and he's going to fulfill the law of Moses. So you're supposed to be living right now in this day and age in the faith, right? You don't need to go to church. You don't need to, draw things on your forehead or eat bread or anything like that. You should do it as a sign of humility and fasting. But bro, your head is your head. If you heard what you heard, you did what you did, you walk in the grace of God, lay that guilt at his feet, give him a tug, get back out there, because there might be something else that you should be doing. But right now you're too busy caught in that time loop. And I tell this to Tom, you would know, I've had this same conversation with a lot of vets, right? Right? And it's always, again, I'm a table flipping Jesus, y'all. I'm not that whole, I'm going to give you a hug and pat you on your head, right? When I talk to him, I'm like, yo, why are you upset? Oh, I did this and other. Like, bro, you got your legs. What? You got your arms. What are you talking about? You can breathe. What are you talking about? Why are you upset? Oh, I did X, Y, and Z. Yeah, we all did X, Y, and Z, right? But you're not in Walter Reed. You're not laid up in there. You're not missing anything. You're not 100% disabled. Get up, say your prayers, work through it, and stop harping on it, man. Stop digging it through your head, man. Stop going through it. And I tell you what, man, if I saw you, bro, I'd give you a big old hug right now, man. I'd give you a big old hug. Like, yo, bro, lay it out and come on, dog. That's it. You did a good thing.
Yeah, it's so weird how like there can be just on the right, there's people who are certain they say they're Christian, but they think of it differently. But that's why we have all these different
Yeah,
denominations, and that's why that's one of my problems.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
also one of my like, okay, guys, come on, just get it together here, guys, just get it together. All right, man, it's been killer. Right, I want to make sure that I say this real quick. Right up after this, after this show, let's see if I can find it real quick. The Magical Journey podcast is coming on tonight. He will be having on Derek Prescott. He will be on shortly, within about 25 minutes. All right, man. We did an hour quick. We went into this whole religious thing, but I enjoyed every bit of it, every bit of
Everybody
knowledge
does.
and perspective that I can get. And I appreciate that insight. I appreciate that you would come forth and tell us, me, you, everybody about your faith and help somebody out. My good friend Darren, who's had a Bigfoot encounter. We're still trying to get him back into the woods. He still can't do it just yet. No, thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Magical. It's been a great live. I appreciate that. Joseph, one more time, man, please tell everybody where they can find you, when they can find you, or however it is that you want to present when you're going out the door here, buddy. Thank you, Denise.
Sounds good. So I'm Joseph. I'm the host of Enigma Cast on the Ancient Enigma Files YouTube channel. My show drops Thursdays at 9 p.m. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, all these places that you can be found on that. You can hit me up on that. I actually know a lot about Dogman and Cryptids too. We kind of went down the swinging my Jesus home run today, but it's okay. We'll get into a lot of different topics on that as well.
You're Louisville Jesus?
No, I call him my Holyville Slugger. We swung that today, man.
Yeah,
So,
Holyville. Look at us. Look at us.
Yeah, so my show is, man, I talk about a lot of different topics, man. I refuse to be pigeonholed. I refuse to make different YouTube channels on that, so we can get into it as well. You're welcome to join on there again. You cannot hurt my feelings. In fact, if it's a pretty good, I've been trolled pretty good. I send my haters T-shirts, man. If you zing me good, it makes me laugh. I'll send you a T-shirt as for doing it. But yeah, so come check us out. We have a good time, man. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, Tom. Yeah,
I appreciate it very much, man. You're welcome back on anytime. Honestly, we can just pick it. We'll just pick us seriously. You're so well knowledge and versed in a lot of things that we didn't come close to touching. I think with you, there's a lot of things I haven't even scratched the surface on. I just wanted to bring up certain things that I haven't been able to talk about, especially when it came to the pandemic shit. And the reason why I'm down here, the reason why I'm in Mexico, guys, is because I said no. I said no. I made the sacrifice for myself and my soul and my eternal soul to not do that. Yeah, brother. And it's been great, man. And thank you so very much for coming once again.
Yeah, no worries, bro. Anytime, man. So.
All right. We are the Eye. We are aware. Love you all and have a wonderful weekend. You have been watching the Eye of Jupiter podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of your favorite interviews. And remember, we are the Eye. We are aware.